Another important topic in the study of crop protection is epidemiology and how does plant changes or yung tinatawag nating variability, how do they change in response to the changing environment and the changing cultural practices that farmers and agriculturists do. So mahalaga na pagtuunan rin natin ng pansin kung paano ba, for example, kumakalat ang disease, ano yung mga different cycles of disease, and how does this pathogen changes over time every time na nagbabago rin yung kanilang environment and every time na nagbabago yung how we engage with these plant diseases. So when we say plant disease epidemiology, kapag sinabi natin yan, ang ibig natin sabihin dyan is yung pag-aaral kung paano ba nagde-develop ang isang sakit ng halaman, how does it spread, and how does it persist or thrive in the environment. So think of the plant disease as a wildfire, for example. Ang sunog sa forest, nagsisimula yan as a small fire itself. So yun yung small pathogen na naka-infect sa isang halaman. And basically, that spreads out. And every time na nag-i-spread out yan, maraming factors that is affecting kung paano siya nag-i-spread out. Yun yung pinag-aaralan natin sa plant disease epidemiology. And mahalagang pag-aralan yan kasi it gives scientists an insight sa kung paano ba kumalat yung sakit, and therefore it gives us some idea on how we can control them. And the core basis or concept of plant disease epidemiology is what we call as the plant disease triangle. Ito ay isang fundamental model sa plant pathology na ine-explain niya basically kung ano ba yung mga necessary conditions in order for plant diseases to develop and then to spread. And basically, ang sinasabi ng plant disease triangle, mayroon daw 3 factors that allows the disease to develop, to persist in the environment. And ano-ano yung mga factors na yon? You need to have a host plant that is susceptible to the disease. You need to have a pathogen, of course, na magkokos ng disease. And you need to have a favorable environment that would allow that pathogen to persist, survive, reproduce in that particular environment that you have. So yan yung tatlong factors or tatlong factors that would allow the disease to develop and persist in the farm. So yun yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Ano ba itong mga tatlong ito? So the first one would be on the discussion of your susceptible host. So ang sinasabi ng disease triangle, firstly, in order for a disease to develop, kailangan yung host mo is susceptible to that particular disease. It means, dapat pwede siyang magkasakit base doon sa pathogen na aatake sa kanya. Or in a way, you can think of it as suscept, di ba? Pag sinabi nating suscept, ibig sabihin susceptible or open or vulnerable siya doon sa sakit na yon. And there are several factors that you can consider when we say susceptible host. Unang-una, you can consider whether your plant, okay, the host is resistant or is susceptible. Now, when we say the plant is resistant, it possesses some genetic traits that allows them to defend themselves against the pathogen. So kapag resistant yung plant mo or yung host ng mga pathogen, kapag resistant sila, ang tendency, hindi kakalat yung sakit. Pero kapag sila ay suscept, ibig sabihin wala silang defense mechanism, then they are more prone to acquiring that particular disease. Now, another factor would be yung plant age or let's say the growth stage of your plant. Yung mga young plants natin or yung mga seedlings natin, typically, sila ay mas vulnerable sa sakit as compared to the mature plant. The reason behind that is because they have underdeveloped structure and mechanisms. Yung mga young plants natin, they have underdeveloped structure and mechanisms to defend themselves against the disease. Whereas yung mga mature plant naman, mas may lakas sila para madepensahan nila yung sarili nila laban sa mga sakit na iyon. Okay? So para sa tao rin, kung papansinin mo, ang mga bata, they are very susceptible to diseases. Kaya kapag ang bata nagkasakit, dapat pinapa-check up agad yan. Kasi you don't want that particular sickness will be aggressive enough to the child kung saan yung sakit niya ay lalala pa ng lalala. Kaya ang mga bata kapag nagkasakit, naaalagaan talaga yan. Whereas ang mga matatanda, medyo may resistant na sila or let's say thick skin, quote-unquote, thick skin laban sa mga sakit na ito. To illustrate this, yung mga downy mildew ng mga grapes, primarily ang inaatake ng mga yan is mga young leaves. So young leaves, young structures of the plant, mas vulnerable sila doon sa downy mildew ng mga grapes. However, there are also pathogens that can attack your plant on its different stages. Isang example dyan would be your Fusarium wilt. Your Fusarium wilt, specifically on banana, can affect the plants in all growth stages. And another factor, talking about susceptible hosts, is plant health and nutrition. So kapag mas healthy yung crop mo, mas may depensa siya against doon sa sakit na yon. Whereas kapag yung crop mo ay payat, wala masyadong nutrients na nakukuha doon sa lupa, mas madali siyang tablahan ng sakit. Ganun din sa tao, right? Kung ang tao na yon ay nakakakuha ng enough nourishment sa kanyang kinakain, siya ay nag-exercise, maayos ang kanyang tulog, mas malakas yung kanyang immune system. However, kapag yung tao na yun ay hindi healthy kumain, payatot, let's say, very idle ang lifestyle, hindi nag-exercise, mas madali siyang matablan ng sakit kasi weakened yung kanyang immune system. Another area in your disease triangle that we need to consider in order for disease to propagate, aside from your susceptible host, is the pathogen itself. So kailangan, unang-una, meron kang susceptible host. Host na pwedeng atakihin ng sakit. Host that is susceptible to the disease. But in order for disease to happen, there should be a pathogen. Kasi if there is no pathogen, primarily, walang sakit na mangyayari. Kasi sino ba yung source ng sakit? Yung pathogen. Right? So kahit na mahina yung halaman mo, pero walang pathogen, walang sakit na mangyayari, walang problema. So we need factor number 2, virulent pathogen. Ito yung and dapat yung virulent pathogen mo na to ay hindi lang dapat mag-isa niya. Okay? It should be sufficient enough in terms of its quantity for infection to occur. And nakadepende yung disease na makukuha ng halaman based on these different factors. For example, yung type of pathogen. Now we have talked about this. Ano yung mga different types of pathogen that we've talked about? Fungi. Ang fungi, nagkukos ng mga rust, mga mildews, mga blights, and primarily they spread through spores and kailangan nila ng moisture. Right? Ang mga bacteria naman, usually ang entry point ng mga yan is through wounds or natural opening of the plants. Ang mga viruses, usually kailangan nila ng vector para maipasa yung sakit doon sa halaman. And whereas ang mga nematode naman, ang inaatake nila usually is yung plant roots. And then kapag inatake nila yung plant roots, nagkakaroon ng systemic symptoms wherein mapapansin natin na may wilting na mangyayari, may galings na nangyayari, and so on and so forth. So that's one factor that we need to consider when we talk about the pathogen. Another one is the life cycle of your pathogen and its survival. Now, some pathogens, tumatagal sila doon sa halaman or doon sa lupa or even tumatagal sila doon sa alternate hosts like insects. So, we need to consider, sino ba yung carrier ng sakit? Lupa ba? Yung halaman ba mismo? Or baka naman may mga insekto na nagkakalat ng sakit na yon. So we're talking here about How does the pathogen survive? How is its life cycle? Is the pathogen producing spores in order for reinfection to occur? 'Di ba? Or are they being dormant in the soil only? So that's one factor na mako-consider natin when we talk about the pathogen. And of course, dispersal. And dispersal is very important kasi dispersal is the means kung saan pwedeng magkaroon ng reinfection or infection doon sa iyong halamanan. How are pathogens being dispersed? For example, it can be dispersed through wind. Yung mga spores ng mga fungi, katulad ng mga katulad ng mga rust fungi natin, they can travel hundreds of kilometers if they are blown by the wind. For bacteria, isa sa mga means of dispersal nila is through water, through rain splashes, kung saan yung tubig na yon may bacteria, tapos apparently na-splash siya doon sa dahon ng halaman, then it could infect that plant. Another one would be the vectors itself. Yung mga insects like aphids. Aphids are, for example, they are very much used by viruses. They are very much used by viruses in transmitting their population. So yan yung mga paraan na yung mga pathogen na to, they can disperse to other plants, promoting infection to other plants or reinfection to your particular field. And aside from your susceptible host, aside from your virulent pathogen, ang sakit ay mangyayari lamang kapag mayroong favorable environment. And when we say favorable environment, that's number 3, we are not saying na favorable doon sa halaman, but rather favorable doon sa pathogen. Kailangan daw yung environment favorable doon sa pathogen para mag-develop yung pathogen, dumami sila, and kumalat. So kapag unfavorable yung environment doon sa yung pathogen, maaari na mag-stop agad yung sakit. Kasi mamamatay sila kasi unfavorable yung environment or stressful yung environment sa kanila. So, according to the disease triangle, in order for disease to develop and thrive and persist in the field, dapat merong favorable environment where pathogens are able to reproduce and reinfect new host in your garden or in your field. So ano yung sinasabi kong favorable environment? For instance, in terms of temperature and moisture, ang mga fungi, ang mga fungal diseases, they thrive sa mga warm environments. Ang mga bacterial diseases naman, usually kailangan nila ng moist environment para mag-multiply and spread. Ang mga virus, kailangan nila ng environment kung saan maraming vectors kasi kailangan nila ng vectors kasi from the insect na ipapasa sila doon sa halaman. Relative humidity is also an important factor when it comes to environment. Usually, kapag mataas ang humidity, ipinopromote nito yung fungal spore germination. Kapag naman dry yung conditions, usually, pine-prevent niya ang bacterial infection. Wind speed and direction is also important, which is a mechanism of dispersal of the pathogen. Ang wind, ang fungi, ang fungal spores, they are being dispersed by wind, right? To illustrate, over long distances. So kapag malakas ang hangin, ang tendency, kahit na malayo yung field ng kapitbahay mo, at yun ay infected by fungal spores at naihangin yun doon sa iyong field, usually magkakaroon ka nga ngayon ng favorable environment that allows the new spores to germinate and to infect your field. And isa sa mga pinaka-importante sigurong factor when we talk about environment is the soil conditions. Because soil conditions usually cultivate, dyan usually namumuhay and nagkukultivate yung mga pathogens na ito. Like for example, yung Phytium root rot. Kapag hindi maayos yung drainage ng iyong field, yung hindi palaging nababasa yung soil mo, tapos may phytium doon, mas madali sila ngayong kumalat. Soil pH is also an important factor here. Kasi for some instances, soil pH can influence kung gaano ka-severe yung disease. For example, yung clubroot of cabbage, mas nagiging severe according sa pag-aaral yung clubroot of cabbage if acidic yung soil. So these are the three things that should happen in order for disease to develop and to persist. We have a susceptible host, we have a pathogen, and we have a favorable environment. Now, kapag wala ang isa dyan, disease will stop or disease will cease. Basically, disease will stop. But with the combination of the three, it will propagate, it will infect, and pwede siyang kumalat at maging epidemya sa halaman. Now, plant disease epidemics, hindi yan yung pagkalat ng sakit, hindi yan nangyayari randomly. Usually, may specific pattern of development over time. Kaya sa pag-aaral ng crop protection, we need to understand the disease progress and epidemiological models na ginagamit ng mga agriculturists in order for us to predict kung paano ba magi-spread yung disease and ano ba yung effective management strategies dito, right? And when we talk about disease progress, two classic examples to view it, okay, is through the concept of the disease progress curves.
Magti-take ka ba ng licensure exam for agriculturists this year? If yes, I believe my course is for you. Enroll now at Learning Agri with Al modular course by clicking the link below. Ano pang hinihintay mo? Mag-enroll ka na. Samahan kita mag-review. Bye!